Hello everyone! Man, I didn't realize how long it's been since I did a stream like these. The last one was with the monkey version of Add-Ons Wars. Before that it was the Chimps and Champions. So only before that there was another Get Better at Add-Ons Wars by web stream. So it's been a while. So hello everyone. Hey Valde, Soforent, Sergu, Semi-Original, Max, Disc. Hello everyone. I hope you're having a great day, night. Yeah, today is gonna be kind of a mixed bag sort of stream. So I wanted to first talk about thumbnails. My god, what a drama has been built up over that. But that first, then I wanted to maybe talk a little bit about APC2, a few more details that I can give. And then I had a few more ideas for today stream. Yeah, so we can get to that in a minute. Usarian match and live league. You know, we could put a live league match in the background. So let's see. Ooh, with Grim. Ooh, those are jolt spikes and sidewinder. Spicy. Who's Yosarian, Sergu? Anyways, I'm done to looking at it because we got some Grim action and you can't see it. My bad. Okay. So, while we have this on the background, let's talk about thumbnails first. So, yes, I'm switching back to my old style of thumbnails. Why did I start using the AI thumbnails that the amazing Idris has voluntarily offered to do them for me for free? Well, mainly because it was out of the kindness of his heart. You know, he had to put in time, and I was like, oh, can you change this? Can you change that? So the guy is amazing. Thank you so much, Idris. I really, really appreciate it. I think there's a lot of people in the community like that want to offer help. So it's always a matter of just like reaching out and like offering the help. That's always a million times better than other people that just like to complain about stuff, are like, why don't we have this? Why don't you do this? And it's like, and then you have people that are like, hey, I can do this. Hey, I can do this. You know, that kind of attitude in the community is like so productive. The other one is not very productive. So anyways, yeah, I decided to use them for a little bit. I think we did 6 thumbnails with that made by Idris. He uses AI. He has his own process. I think it's good to experiment, you know, in content. You do want to, you know, keep it. You want to be experimenting a little bit here or there, because if not, you either get bored of the same thing, either as a viewer, but also as the creator. You know, I'm a person too. And sometimes with experimentation, you can find things that you like more or not, and then you decide, oh, okay, you can kind of clear your mind of whether to go for that approach or not. You know, you can clear your mind of those what ifs, right? So why did I switch back to the old style? Well, I was a little bit hesitant to do the AI thumbnails at first. I know this is huge. I don't know if it's huge, but I know there's a lot of split people on the internet between AI bad, AI good. I'm not gonna get into that. It's not relevant here. Or maybe it is, but it's too broad of a topic. So I just want to keep it within the realms of the channel and this community. So I decided to give it a try, because I was like, okay, maybe on one hand, the AI thumbnails could achieve things that I could just never do, right? Like probably my two favorite ones were the Colin mirror thumbnail. That one was sick. And then the first one that was posted, the epic fog battle, those two just were so good. I have a thing with epic stuff. I don't know, I like epic stuff. So those two I really liked a lot. And that's stuff that I just can never do, right? I would have to commission an artist to do that. And it takes a lot of hours and money, right? And that's just not something that I can do for the channel. So I always thought that would be cool. Sometimes I have an idea, oh, it would be amazing to have a thumbnail that has this or that, and I just can't do that. So it's kind of cool to just be able to just throw it to the AI and it kind of makes it for you. So I think that was cool. I thought it could be a nice experiment, see if it actually bumps the numbers of views, clicks, whatever. And it was kind of the same. It was kind of the same between that and I don't know, the other style of thumbnails I used to make. So there wasn't an actual like numbers benefit from moving to AI thumbnails, which I think it makes sense because of how small this community is. Is a very tightly knit community. I know that there's a couple thousand people that watch Add-Ons Wars content, but on one hand, thumbnails matter, and on another, not as much as you would think, I guess is my conclusion. I do think that making good thumbnails is a very important thing. That can be some other day's topic. I don't know, a conversation we can have with Mansa on some podcast episode, but yeah, thumbnails are really important. I would always recommend anyone that wants to make content to really focus on good, simple thumbnails. Like, it is so important. It is the wrapping of your present. It is the entryway of your restaurant. You know, it's what people see. And then they were like, oh, do I go in? Do I watch this? Like, and there's so many others, right? It's like being at a fair, having your little stand there, and if you have an ugly stand, or it doesn't even look like a food place, maybe it looks like a trash can, or I don't know, it's just messy, then people don't even know what it is about, right? So you wanted to keep it clean and clear of what it is and what you're offering. So I think that's always really important. But anyways, I'm kind of going on a tangent here. What was I talking about? So I switched back to my old style because I thought, okay, if the numbers would be significantly more, I was like, okay, maybe it can bring maybe some new viewers to the channel, or maybe some new viewers to Add-Ons Wars content in general, right? Because there is like, these are the amount of people that watch the channel. This is the amount of people that watch Add-Ons Wars, and then you have, I don't know, this is the amount of people that watch turn-based strategy games or whatever, right? Gaming videos. So maybe like with that, you could bring a few more people into the community, but it didn't seem to be the case. And I kind of also feel bad asking someone to do free work, you know? So I'm very thankful to Idris for doing those 6 thumbnails for free. But yeah, I'm just gonna go back to my old style, my very simple and repetitive style. So that's that. But then something obviously happened. Too many people with big feedbacks, and I'm just gonna make my camera bigger because I want you guys to focus on what I'm saying. Okay, so it's crazy the big opinions that some people have, and I'll read your comments in a second. But what was I gonna say? Okay, so feedback, right? Let's talk about feedback. I'm always very appreciative of people giving me feedback, constructive feedback. Good feedback, you know, and constructive feedback of what I'm doing wrong, or possible ideas that I could, you know, suggestions. I'll never forget one of the biggest feedbacks that I ever got that was like big constructive feedback. This was like a year or two ago, and I can't remember who it was from, but there was someone that said that when I would breathe, I would always like breathe through my teeth. I would go like this. I don't know why I used to do that, but I had never realized about that. And I was like, wow, that is really annoying. And I do have a thing of like being very self-conscious of everything that I do, and I try to improve. So I watch most of my content again just to see what I'm doing wrong and what I can improve. I don't know why I hadn't realized about that, but I was like, ooh, dang, okay, that is definitely something that is annoying. And it was not easy to change, okay? It's not easy to change how you breathe, let me tell you. There's other annoying things that I do, but oh well, we can only try so hard. But that one, I focused so hard. I remember it took me a couple videos for me to naturalize not doing that. So I was happy. I was very thankful that someone brought that up to me and that I got that fixed. I no longer breathe through my teeth. I think unless maybe I'm in a very high stress, facing starflash repellent and light leaf. Maybe I do that. I don't know. You guys tell me. So yeah, basically constructive feedback is amazing. That person also had said it in a nice way, right? But then there's people that are just like straight up, I don't know, just mean and rude, or just like, I don't know, just blatantly trying to stir the pot, right? It's just the way that you give the feedback, right? So obviously that kind of feedback is not appreciated. Like, again, there's a way of saying things, right? It's like if your best friend or whatever makes you some food, it's like, hey, I'm doing this for you. It's the first time I'm trying to do this bread or whatever. It's like, I don't know, maybe you have a different kind of relationship, but I wouldn't be like, oh my God, this is the worst bread I've ever had in my life. You are the worst bread maker ever. You suck. Like, come on, bro. Are you really going to do that? Like, I don't know. You just wouldn't be my friend pretty much, but maybe you guys are into that. I'm not. But anyways, yeah, there was a lot of people being, it was just very like, Slop AI episode 4 or whatever. Like, come on, man. Really? Do you really have to be like that? I understand your point of view, and I was like openly welcoming, right? I had said from the very beginning, like, hey, give me your feedback. But then you have people like that. It's like, come on. And I don't know. It's kind of funny also seeing certain people say that, but like, they never comment before, they're just now very participative, and they just show up to just show they're very when they're very against something, right? Which is, I think, kind of human nature, I guess, that we don't express ourselves a lot when things are going good, but we do when things are not going our way. It takes a bit of an active effort to do so, to express when you're liking stuff, and then when something you don't like, to express it in a way that is not like steering the pot, let's say. But yeah, in other words, constructive feedback is always welcome. Just think twice before you post something in a way that I know doesn't it isn't like rude or mean, Come on, just basic sense. Like, come on. And I think something that I've been thinking a lot from one comment from someone, and we talked about it in the podcast episode with Sidewinder. I think there's definitely some people that are a bit too I don't know how to say it in English. But in Spanish, or here we say cara dura. It's just too blatantly, I guess steering the pot is the closest that I can get to this kind of behavior, I guess. But I don't know. There's a I discovered there's a feature on YouTube where you can like hide users from the channel. It says it pretty much makes them like a pariah island. Like you can, it's not really banning them. It's like they can still watch your content and comment, but pretty much no one can see their comments. So I was like, dang, like I might start doing that with certain people that are just too much, you know. I don't want to have people that are always negative and stirring the pot, or instigating. Yeah, I'm gonna have to read your comments in a bit, but yeah, I guess shadow ban. So I'm gonna start considering that for certain people, because I kind of want to have more. I want to promote the nicer part of the community, because usually it's also like the 1% of people that are like that, right? And if you don't care about my feelings and other people's feelings in the community, then I don't care about yours, pretty much. Or I mean, it's not that I don't care about yours, but I don't care about you too much in being part of this community. So yeah, I'm gonna consider that as a thing. Well, we'll see. But I'm gonna try to be a bit more using that tool of like banning or shadow ban, whatever it is. So yeah, just kind of wanted to promote a nicer environment. I don't want to I think I've been maybe too lenient in general, because I'm kind of always unsure of whether to do that kind of stuff, but I've kind of gotten to that conclusion. So yeah, be nice, pretty much. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about is that, do I recommend AI thumbnails? And the thing is, I think, or I guess the question is, are AI thumbnails bad? This is what one person was saying, that I had admitted that they were worse or bad. I do not think they are bad. I do not think they're bad. I do not think they're worse. I actually think they are a really great tool. In my case, I'm going to go back to my style. I think I was able to find a style that I really like, that kind of has a bit of a aesthetic, a branding or whatever, and I kind of want to maintain it as well. And because of all the other reasons that I said before, that's why I'm going back to that, blah, blah, blah. But the thumbnails with AI, they let you get to a certain idea or product that you would otherwise never get to unless you pay someone. But you're not going to have that bank to pay, right? So that's just not a possibility. Like maybe if you're talking about, if you're making money with your channel, and maybe, yeah, you can start commissioning people. But unless they're doing it for free, then you would have to rely on an AI to make that, or do it yourself. And I don't do that. So yeah. But something that I was thinking is like, I think AI tools to make thumbnails would be a really great tool for someone that is new, right? So when you're starting off, if you look at my thumbnails when I started up, they're horrible. I didn't know what to do. So I kind of had an idea, I made them, and then it didn't look as I wanted. And this microphone keeps falling. But I think it's a really good idea for newer content creators that don't know what they want on their thumbnails. And instead of like just putting whatever or having nothing, they can kind of have a bit of a help from an AI tool, because then it takes up the whole rectangle. You have stuff going on. It's clear. So I think that's a really cool thing, because you can try stuff, and then eventually you might, and you would probably eventually find a style that you like, and then you kind of go and you narrow down the kind of style of thumbnail that you want with that. So I think for newer content creators, it is a really great tool, and I highly, highly suggest it. Yeah, but I think once you have a style that you want, then it's kind of hard, I feel like, to... Well, I mean, I guess it's up to you. But I think if you have a style already, then you can either use it to keep doing that style, or you can just do it yourself, right? Let's look at your comments before I move on to the next section. Oh, okay. You're saying is someone that always does. So wait, I know this guy. I've played against this guy. Let me show you, because this is someone's alt. Oh my god, I know this person. I can't remember whose alt it is. Was it this person? Maybe it wasn't. Let me see. Oh, no, maybe it's not. It's not. Okay. No, it's someone else then. Never mind. I got confused. Your thumbnails are not terrible so far. Yeah, that's not true. You are one of the most creative creators out there, honestly. The little short movies that you make are always hilarious. You have insane ideas. Mansa, not me switching thumbnail style 4 times in 30 bits. I mean, same. I changed a lot until I found something that I liked. So Sergu says, I'm heavily biased, but the only thing I'll say, I always hear of people refusing to interact with something because it uses AI, but I've never seen anyone click on something because it's AI. Always hear of people refusing to interact. I've never seen anyone click on something because it's AI. I'm not sure what you're trying to say. So you say that people refuse to interact with something because it has AI. Okay, so they're like against AI in general. But you don't think people click something because it's AI. Okay, I think I understand. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, if it's blatantly AI, then maybe not, but I don't know. I think that's maybe too much in the like AI kind of internet debate. Captain Johnson. Oh, that's you. Nice. I mean, it's funny because actually Grim has a really good matchup against Andy. Until Andy gets the super, then it's like, bye-bye, Grim. Okay, Herbie has a good point. For me, if there are more AI generated thumbnails per channel, sometimes I can't tell whose video it's from thumbnail alone. So that kind of reminds me, Semi uses AI thumbnails, and they're great, and he achieves like different thumbnails all the time. I think you can have different styles also of thumbnails using AI. So I understand that because it feels like AI always does like this cartoony kind of. There's like a certain way that the AI does the characters, especially. But I think it's more so on the prompts themselves because I don't know, the one with the Olaf, the double Olaf had like this very different kind of aesthetic. So I think it's more on like how you prompt it and what kind of style you give it. I do understand your take though. So you could also say that if people start doing like the same style, like and this kind of happens. Like the style that I use, I kind of stole it from Age of Empires 2, honestly. Like that's people in that community. There's a lot of people that post content, and it's like literally a picture of part of the game, right, of the map with the units doing something, and then like an image or some text or both. And that's what I do. I just put an image of the match at some point in time, slap a text on it, and or an image, which is usually just a CO, call it a day. Just kind of keeping it clean and simple. But I mean, it's very simple, right? Like anyone can do that. So it's like, okay, then how do you distinguish? And that kind of happens in the Age of Empires 2 community. Like, it's like hard to tell, like just from the thumbnail, just strictly from the thumbnail, it can be hard to distinguish who is who because they all kind of do that kind of style. So I don't think it's necessarily a problem. You just kind of look a little bit down, you see the channel. It's also on the way of the title. I don't know. No one would ever accuse you of slop AI thumbnail fluffy. That is true, that is true. I mean, something that I do, I don't want to go too much into different branches, but do you guys use AI in your day-to-day, like at work, personal life, that kind of stuff? I'm interested to know. Like, do you use, ChatGPT to help you at work and that kind of stuff? I sincerely am curious to see what your responses are, because I feel like, and this is something that I was talking with Idris, like you have kind of two opposites. You have the people that are like, oh yeah, AI is fine, I use it all the time, helps me a lot. And you have people that are like, I hate it. I like, not if something has a sliver of AI, I am gonna hate it. And man, this microphone is not cooperating today. Asshat. Is that, Sergio, you're from the UK, right? What is asshat? Seems like such a UK thing to say. No, for sure. Andy Kuma, I agree totally. Like you said, the opposite can also be annoying though. Fake positivity and trying to avoid any debate. It eventually leads to stagnation, as some things are no longer discussed because everyone wants is afraid to talk. 100%. Like that's why I'm like, you guys you can trash talk me, and like you've done it a lot, and I'll do it as well. Like I'm playing live games and like I suck. I 100% welcome that. It's just more so like you cannot know when someone is like stepping over the line. It's like borderline just trying to make people upset. Yeah, but anything that's like banter, super welcome. The Legend of Tesla thumbnail is amazing now that I look at it. Ooh, that one's old, Sergo. It's funny because I really copy a lot from the Age of Empires too, especially from T90. No originality. Max says, favorite map from Live Madness? Probably like most decent one, the first one. Most experimental, the last one. The last one was crazy. Okay, Captain Johnson got the win. Nice. Okay, you guys sometimes use it or you don't use AI. It's pretty bad, says Disc. Can do basic stuff. Yeah, that is true. You kind of have to throw at it like really precise prompts, or else it gives you whatever, pretends like that it's okay, and then you're like, wait, this doesn't work. That's happened to me. You think AI is being abused, Christian? For bad reasons? So one point that someone had said was that they were getting like upset because AI, like this AI art is like taking away someone's job. It's like no, it wasn't. Like I understand if it does in other aspects, but in this case, like it was someone doing it for free, something that I was doing myself. So it was actually like saving me time. It saves me time to then put more time into making more content. So that argument, I understand it, but it just is not applicable for this specific case. So that's why I think people just like, some people are just straight up like, oh yeah, it's bad and everything. And it's like, hold on. Assess. But yeah, that's probably it for the AI theme. APC2. So, APC2. Are you guys signing up? Fluffy, you need to sign up. Come on. So, APC2 signups are open. They're gonna close not tomorrow, the other Sunday. I am really excited about this tournament. Last one was amazing. APC1 was incredibly fun. So APC2 is going to be even better, hopefully. But we've been putting a lot of work. So yeah, the goal, this I didn't mention, but the goal is to have 56 players in the qualifiers. So then we have 7 single elimination brackets of 8 players each, and then that would be 3 rounds to then qualify to the main event. Yeah, it's not going to be easy to qualify, and there's some good players already signing up. We're still not at 56, so if you guys want to sign up right now, like, free spot. But yeah, hopefully we can get to 56 players. If not, it will have to be 28. Because yeah, that's the idea is to do that, either 28 or 56 players. No, I'm not gonna say anything, but the system could change in future editions if there are future editions. That's all I'm gonna say. I think there are better formats, but the big test this time around is to see how many people want to play, right? Because it's an important factor in organizing a tournament like this. So that's the big test of this time around. What else can I talk about? APC2. Map pool. I'm not gonna talk about the maps, but there are going to be 7 maps in the pool. Man, this microphone does not want to stay still. I need to get something else for this microphone. But there's gonna be 7 maps in the pool, and then players are gonna pick and snipe like last time, but this time it's gonna be a little bit different. This time, the exact process still has to be defined. I don't know if this is still possible, but the idea is to be able to kind of do a snake format where player 1 picks 1 map, player B picks 2 maps, then player A picks 2 more maps, then player B picks the last map. So that's 6 picks within 7, right? So the 7th map that wasn't picked by either of the players is automatically game 3. So the map that no one picked becomes automatically game 3, which solves the problem from last time where the staff had to be picking the 3rd map for every set, which became a bit of a hassle. So it should speed that up. And then from those picks, the players, the idea, it still has to be confirmed if we can do this, but the idea is for then the players, one snipes 1 from the other one's pool, right? You have each player picked 3 maps, so one of them snipes 1, the other one snipes 1 from the other, right? And then each player would pick between those 2. So like you have these 2 remaining maps from your pool that you selected. You get to pick one of them, and then the same from the other. That's the idea. So it's kind of cool because then you can sort of, there's a lot of strategy in the picking and sniping itself. But if you just pick the maps that you want, then the other one snipes the one that they don't want to play from your pool. And then you get to pick exactly which one you really want to play as your home map. But I don't know, you could also see people like picking the maps that they don't want to play in. So then it doesn't go into the other player's pool, right? So there's a lot of that kind of stuff. So that's map related. Yeah, not gonna reveal the maps until a little bit later. They are all already defined, and they are gonna be amazing. I think they're even better than last time. So that is gonna be a lot of fun. And there's some spice. If you thought Pirate Caravan was spicy, watch out. What else? Well, there is going to be a prize pool. I still have to determine what the amount is, what the initial amount is, but it is going to be more than last time. Than like the initial starting amount that I had said, it's going to be more than last time. And yeah, I guess that is still, we still have to kind of decide on that, but details will be shared when that's decided, pretty much. Will the maps and the qualifiers be the same as in the main event, says Astaroth? Yes/no, maybe. I'll just say that there's a high chance that we rotate some maps out from the qualifiers and put some new ones on the main event. That is what I want to do. We will see. It's very likely. I'll say it's very likely that we do that. Maybe for maps that maybe are a little bit problematic, or I don't know, weren't picked as much, or were picked too much. I don't know. We'll see what criteria we use, but we definitely have some like substitute maps that we're gonna think of rotating in, like replacing in the main event. APC was your favorite Advance Wars by Web tournament you watched, Max? Damn. Thanks, man. Would be interesting to see a Young Talents tournament someday only for newbies or people below a certain elo, says Sergu. That is a really good idea. It'd be cool to do like something I was thinking, like a APCC, AP Anonymous Player or Community Cup, something like that. You have to be below a certain elo or something like that to play. That'd be kind of fun. A bit more of a casual tournament. But hey, the idea of this one having so many players in the qualifiers was for it to be more community oriented. So like, if the idea is to have 56 players, how many of them are going to be like top players? 20, maybe 30, maybe, with all of them kind of signing up. There's not that many, right? There's not that many top players that are known, that play standard, that play live, that are available to play. So the idea of it being 56 is that there is another 20 or 30, probably half of them are going to be players you don't know. And that's really hype. That's kind of what happened with Chimps and Champions, which I thought was amazing, giving the chance to players that don't have the spotlight often. And I'm going to change the music. Let's put another game here. Like we saw, well, I think it was the first time that Cert played in a tournament, in a live tournament. So that was really cool. And he performed really well. He got to the semifinals, I believe. He lost to Starflash. And then you had people like Wealthy Tuna that I didn't even know who he was. Frederick Rance. Who else? I'm missing people, but there was like at least 4 or 5 that I had never heard of. You guys had never heard of, or just didn't have the spotlight like Cert, that he's been like grinding like crazy. So very excited about that. Let's do. Ooh, damn! These guys are still playing, and I know Sidewinder is actually streaming. So yeah, that's the kind of the idea here, like making it more open for people to play, giving a chance to those more like mid-elo players, because hey, sometimes top players get too confident, you know? They think, oh, I'm much better than this other player. Let me change this. Damn, this map is big. Well, whatever. It'll be like that. They'll be like, this player is a mid-elo player. I'm just gonna win. I'm not even gonna prep. And then you have the mid-elo player, the underdog, that is like, I'm gonna prep these maps. I'm gonna get some openings. I'm gonna practice. And then they show up to the match against the top player, and you get this amazing like underdog. You know, what do you call it? What is it called? Man, why do these words always escape me? Come on, chat, help me. When underdog beats top player, upset. Thank you, upset. Yeah, overdog. Upsets are always very hype, but what I like about the best of 3 format is that in a one-off, you know, in a best of 1, it is, you know, the chances of having an upset are higher, right? But once you expand that to a best of 3, then it decreases. So really, the player that is more prepared, or just the better player in overall, is the one that's gonna get through. Instead of just a best of 1, oh, maybe that map I hadn't prepped, or that opening I hadn't seen, and then you're always behind. And like that kind of stuff can happen in just a one-off, but in a best of 3, not so much, right? We saw how Poland, and not that he's the underdog, but how he was like with a foot out the door of the APC1 main event, because he had lost to Dark Noob 2-0, and then lost the first match against Chloe Box. So then he had to win the 2 matches against Chloe Box and pray that Chloe Box also lost to Dark Noob. And that's actually what ended up happening. But he had to claw his way back. He told me he really, like, after that, he was like, I need to prep. And he got ready. Like, he knew he needed to win those 2 matches against Chloe Box, or else he was out. Like, there was just, it was it. That was it. There was no chance whatsoever. He had to win those 2 matches. So I think that kind of stuff is always really, really cool. Below 800 is always fun to watch. I'm not gonna deny that. Sprite Mare, yes, Sprite Mare was another one. Sleeper Pig with a banger game. Super good fight with ZFS. I don't remember that one, but let's see, what else can I share you about APC2? Well, the calendar, I had put the tentative dates on the qualifiers because it's going to depend on the amount of players that sign up. So if we get 56 players, that is probably what we're going to go with. Actually, in my notes I have the wrong calendar, but it's what showed in the video. I think it was September 8th. So it was like October 19, something like that. Because that would be 6 weeks, right? So it's 2 weeks per qualifier round, and it's going to be very like, you have to play your best of 3 match in those 2 weeks. If the 2 weeks go by and the set is not played, or a match is missing or something, then it will be up to the staff to determine who moves forward. Like, there's not going to be any exceptions because there's too many players, too many rounds, and just, you know, giving more time is just going to eat into the days, and we can't afford to kind of have the tournament get delayed, right? Because the main event is going to be on those days that were set. Oh my god, my notes are so wrong. It is November 8, 9, 15, and 16. I need to update this. But yeah, those are the days of the main event. Just like last time, 2 weekends of straight streaming all day, 2 days, and then the other weekend, another 2 days. It's gonna be a lot of fun. What else? Do you guys have questions maybe that you want to throw at me about APC2? And if not, we can move on to the next thing. there was a cool idea that someone had commented this week that I wanted to go through, and it was about base skipping or base delaying. Base skipping, base delaying? Yeah, no, base delaying, not base skipping. Yeah, exactly. That's Roth. Yeah, last time it was like, oh, you have 5 weeks to play your matches whenever you want, and then nothing happened for the first like 2-3 weeks, and then 80% of the matches were played in the last week, and then we had to give them an extra week or two so they could finish playing a match or two that was left. So it's like, yeah, we just don't want to do that again. So we're gonna keep it on schedule. And 2 weeks to play 2, maybe 3 matches is a lot. Come on, like if you're a live gamer, that's just not a lot. That would be some great weekends. Yeah, I'm gonna be tired. Oh, also another thing, there's gonna be a lot of qualifier matches. Like if it's 56 players that we have, I did the math, and that's about 100 to 150 matches of qualifier matches. Just think about that. 100 to 150 matches in the qualifiers. That is an insane amount. So I am definitely not going to cover all of them. What match should we put? Let's put one that has just begun. Oh, this one's Fog. Dang. Let's do Sasha. Let's do... There you go. Yes, there's going to be a lot of content. So I already told the creators that, hey, this is going to be what they call it, open broadcast. Like APC2, I mean, APC1 was also, but I don't know, no one made any content about it. I'm just going to explicitly say it is open broadcast. Anyone can make any kind of content that they want with the matches. Even players themselves are open to stream their matches as they're playing them. I feel like some players are gonna be like, no, I don't want to be streaming because then I'm gonna get stream sniped by my opponent. And it's like, nah. I mean, maybe, but I wouldn't be surprised if like someone like Starflash streams their games. And I think that's cool, right? It's cool to have moments, opportunities for players to stream their games. But yeah, creators, anyone who wants to make content, you can stream, you can make videos, you can do whatever you want. I'm gonna kind of pick and choose certain qualifier matches, possibly certain sets specifically that I'll cover, and we can cover them on streams like we did last time. But yeah, I'm just not gonna cover 100 to 150 matches, qualifier matches. Like that makes no sense. But yeah, maps are gonna be amazing. So expect some good content, and players are really good. So yeah, content's going to be through the roof. We're probably going to have content for many, many months to come. Oh, I can filter. Yeah, you're right. I should probably do that. Okay. 150 matches. That's like a week for Semi. True. Semi already said he's gonna have a lot of content. Anything else about APC2? Do you have any questions? I didn't see any questions from you guys, so I think we can move on. Yes. Yeah, I don't know. You guys ask me if you want to. You can ask me stuff about APC2 and we can go over it. I think enough information has been given. Don't want to talk about stuff too much because certain things are still being defined, but you can ask me and we can see. So someone give me a very good idea before we start covering replay submissions. which is to look at the effect of base delay. So let me look for a map. What is this? Oh, what is it called? Delphinus, I think it was. Okay. So I'm gonna use this map because this is the video that the person had made that comment on. Yeah, let's see. So usually, let's put some music. Does this work? It doesn't. Let's do this. So sounds good, Amansa. Talk to you later. I hope Forlorn has a famous chain skip, but that one is obvious. So I just want to show, and we can look into what happens when you base delay, right? Because it's just usually everyone in the community just says, don't base delay, go for the base cap first. Like strictly, just good rule of thumb. One of the first things to do, right? So let's play this out first without base skipping, right? So both players are gonna normally go for that base. Here you can do this. Let's copy the openers for both, obviously. Where do you send this guy? Probably forward. Go for the chain. This goes there. This goes here. This guy, immediate cap is going to be this one. Damn, the caps from the 2 base are really bad. I don't think I've ever played this map. And you go for the airport, maybe? Nah. Let's pretend something like this. In this case, the base is really late. And this guy will go like towards the center, I guess. And now we have the income for tanks. So let's pretend you go for this. This guy goes kind of over there. And this is the important moment, decisions. Do you go over here? So you get the base. Like I said, you have to play this one a little bit more to have the effect of this base. But you would probably make a tank 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 4, 6. So maybe make a tank here. And then you decide whether to go for any of these caps. So you go over here. Make a response tank. And then you contest over here, probably. Okay, so this is going for a straight base. kind of action. I can probably leave it here. Now, let's see by base delaying. Who should base delay? Player 1 or player 2? Let's do player 1. I don't know, just because. So player 1 is just gonna go ahead and get this capture, speed this up instead of going for the base. Just really greedy, super greedy. This is kind of it's a good exercise for me as well to kind of visually see. I think someone, I think I heard Ghost7 the first time say this. I think you also mentioned it, that the way to calculate the damage you do to yourself in a base delay, it's like every capture that that base is responsible for gets delayed by a turn. So it's like, and if it's 4 cities, it's like 4k less. Say now you send this guy over there. Go with that. So in this case, what player 1 is getting is this city 1 turn quicker, right? So it's 1k more initially for a little bit, and then it kind of catches up. I feel like the best way to show this would actually be doing it hot seat and then doing the stats thing. I have to do that later. Imagine you go for the interrupt. Say you go here. Can't even afford a tank. Yeah, probably the best thing would be to do a hot seat, honestly. I could have it ready for next time. It's funny now, player 1 has that base so delayed. Can make this tank here. Tank makes it 8. That's 2. Then you have 7, so you have to base skip for the other tank, which is probably not a good idea. So you're already behind on infantry numbers later in the game. Imagine make a tank. No, not an anti-air. Tank. Infantry. And then player 2 is going to have so many more infantry. Oh, you have 8k? Okay, so you get a tank chain. Did I math something wrong there? It was 10k. Maybe I didn't finish capping something the other turn. I'm not gonna go back because this thing is gonna bug out. I hate when it does that, when that happens. So let me go for this, and this tank is actually not a bad idea. I mean, this is the thing, you probably get an advantage early, but 2, 4, 6. Okay, you probably can't defend this, so you have to choose whether to defend this or this. You can probably go for this interrupt, honestly. Steel specific, but you have a forest, so it doesn't hurt. Player 2 is going to be getting these captures much quicker. So it's something that you start noticing later. Also, player 1 has like 3 infantry in the 2 base area right now. And look at how many player 2 has. So you can definitely see that the mid game is going to be looking very, very different. So probably have to make another tank here. So in this case, player 1 is just going hyper aggressive. You can still respond to that. Of course, there's a little bit of damage here because you can't get this cap. But where do you go with this guy? Do you park on the city? This guy gonna start capping that. You can start to see this guy is capping this, and this guy hasn't even started. It's probably a bad idea because you're so behind on captures. And then you can probably make another tank here because you definitely need more infantry over here. Because if you send this guy to attack, then you probably want to use this guy to capture this, but then you're very far behind on these 2 captures. So say you do that because you gotta commit. And actually I think this is an 8, but we'll leave it at that. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That goes there. This could go here. This could go here. Probably go for that. And already I think you can see that player 1, also because he made the first 2 tanks on the 2 base, but also because of the base skip, there's just less infantry from player 1, right? So then compared to player 2. In this case, player 2 is already ahead on this capture by 2 turns. And he's going to be ahead on this capture, on this capture, on this capture. So that is 4 cities at least that he's going to be ahead on. Because this guy came from this base. So this base is responsible for these 2 and these 2. And then probably just infantry spamming. So funding wise, you're not going to notice until in a few turns. But this one already is catching up to the initial like bump that player 1 had because he captured this city first. But as you get into the mid game, that is going to be 4 cities that player 2 is getting quicker than player 1's 1 city he got quicker. And he's going to have way more infantry count. Just more numbers. I think the only reason you would do this would be to go more aggressive, like player 1 did. Maybe there's a reason to go more aggressive on the 1 base, but there has to be a very specific line. But you can see player 2 has more initiative here. He has these infantry just because these are tanks and they're not infantry. Like it could be very similar, right? Because all these infantry came out from this base. So these would be infantry and they could be here fighting. They could be a second infantry. Yeah, but it's just hard because you need these tanks. That's the whole point. I think the best way would be to do 2 hot seats and then looking at the stats to see the funding. But I'm gonna have to leave that for another time because it's gonna take me a while to get to that. So I'll probably have it pre-made and we can look at that later. So let's start looking at some replay games. I know there was a game that Alexis wanted to play. So I don't know if Alexis is in chat. But we can do that if Alexis, you're here. And if not, I'll start reviewing matches. Is it even worth breaking through the seam? It will take a long while, but you can reach the center. Yes, it is definitely worth breaking the seam. I think initially there was no black bolt, it was just a pipe seam, and it was too strong, and eventually Ilyas added the black bolt, so it's really hard. I mean, it takes a while. I think it's 2 turns to destroy the black bolt with an arty, and then another 3 turns, maybe 2 turns with the assist of a mech or something. So that's like 4 arty shots right there. But it is incredibly strong. You can see the pivot here from the 1 base is like you go either one side or you go the other. And so this pressure from the 2 base, you kind of making the 1 base dance around and choosing what to build or what not to build. And then also from the 2 base, it's like, oh, do I go towards the middle or towards this area? You break this, and then it's like 2, 4, 6. Like a tank reaches over here. You can stand the tank on the city in 1 turn. Even the infantry move much quicker, right? Like right now, it's like 1 turn, 2 turns, 3 turns to attack the city. If you bust this open, it's 1 turn, 2 turns to attack over here. So once that's done, I think it also really activates the HQ pressure a lot. Anyways, let's look into some replay submissions. Where are they? Okay. All right. Oof, my camera's way too big. Okay, so we have Gooby in Lash against Ludovicus with Rachel. Nice matchup. This map is called Amber something. Amber, what was it called? Amber Valley. It used to be. I remember I played this map when I had just started playing on the site, and there was no comm tower, and it was very stally. And there was a very funny recon opening also to interrupt and really be annoying against the airport. But this is a new version. It has a comm tower and some other changes, I think. I can see the Lash pick because of so many tiles. Ludovicus skipping 1 city to rush this city right here. These are very contested. They are this one is 1 tank turn away, 2 for 6, 2 for 6. They're not 1 tank turn from this one, but you can park a tank on the silo, and that's what made it so stally. It was crazy. So color change. Yes, you're right. Let's change to that. So Gooby in the black hole with Lash at the top, and then we have Ludovicus with Rachel in the Teal Galaxy, the new Latin America theme-based version of Teal Galaxy. Gooby also skipping over here, trying to rush these. Oh, Gooby double. That is, I think, too many skips already. So kind of in the topic from just now, skipping a base. In this case, he's putting himself quite a bit of funds. So that was 1K to go for the city. 2K because he didn't finish this, so he's going over here. And now 3K because he's skipping this city to go for these. Actually, because it's further away, maybe it's more, I'm not sure. I understand the reasoning why. It's because he wants to get these 2 contested quicker, and he's Lash, so he can kind of fight Rachel on this much better terrain for Lash. But now you can see he's not gonna have the money to have the tank chain that he would get, right? You can see this was BAAB tank order. So he would have to base skip right here. I wonder if Ludovicus is gonna base skip as well. He's gonna go for that. He can't interrupt this. Oh, Ludwig not going for this capture. That is very odd. I think he's setting up so that this guy can interrupt over here and this guy goes to capture that instead. Okay. So Gooby has 8k. Do a base skip. He starts that cap. He gets this guy right there. I think maybe on the forest would be better. Problem is, oh, he's trying to cover so the tank can't attack because he's not gonna make a tank right now. But I think he makes a recon instead. Ooh. So going for a recon now instead of 2 tanks next turn, because next turn he's gonna have funds for 1 tank. I think this tank could have gone on the silo instead, and then this guy on the forest. So then you really exploit that lash firepower. The thing is, Rachel is going to have the com tower, so he gets to go and attack there. I don't think it would be a good idea, because then that would be a dead infantry. And then this tank is not going to hit that lash infantry on a silo. That would be a death sentence right there. Yes, the recon can sit on these really quickly. This is a very fast map. Thing is, Ludovicus can make a tank here. He could make tank already infantry if he wants to. And he's gonna attack from the forest. He's actually gonna finish it off and attack the tank. Yeah, not a good wall. I didn't even think about that, but that's pretty bad. So big flaw in the wall right there. So definitely would have been better to have the tank here instead of the infantry in the forest. Now you're in a losing fight. Has to retreat. Has to make another tank. Gets a free hit there though. Looks like Ludovicus didn't position that properly, or was offering this guy, you know, as tribute, so that this guy didn't get hit. I don't think it's a good idea, but well, now he has to. Well, he's comfortably going to cap this because Gooby didn't leave anything in range to interrupt. And he can focus more over here. So double tank infantry. I want to look at the... I'm going to open the stats thing after this match is done. And we can see that early greed from Gooby, if it paid off, which it didn't. You can see the impact of the funding. But I think this match is already over pretty much. With that opening, the too greedy of an opening into like bad positioning. He does have 3 of the 4 contested properties. He's also gonna have this one, and Ludovicus is gonna have this one. It looks like he's also getting this one. So all that is done, but the match is not over. So it is now the time of the pressure. Ludovicus can start pressuring these 2 cities. So how much Gooby will be able and can afford and wants to invest into defending these properties, as he parks the recon on the city there, so that as there's no double tank, so pretty much a bad fight here from Ludovicus to like hit it and then get slapped by a tank on the city. And he goes for the interrupt here as well. I think that is... Couldn't you have a tank in range? I think this tank should have been on this silo at least. Ooh, I love this new thing. So satisfying. This guy should have definitely been on this silo, if not like on this plains actually. But somewhere so it's in range to protect this infantry, because now it's hanging there. That's gonna be a dead... that's a free tank hit right there. Oh, okay, he says that one. I mean, you could have just like sent a tank on the shoulder and keep capping, honestly. And there starts the capture and a lot of pressure. So the plan from the idea of the indirect is to plop it right here behind the mountain, protect this forever, which that is pretty common to do. But this one is harder to defend. You have a road there to interrupt from. If you interrupt from over here, you're getting attacked back from forest. You could also bring your own arty and do 2, 4, 5. I guess you would lock it down, but then one more turn you can kind of protect the cap, have a mountain to the side, have a silo here to put a tank on, so it's kind of hard to break through. So this is the point where Ludovico is going to be forcing a fight, and Gooby has to decide how much is he willing to trade just to maintain that city. And he's going to send an infantry attack from the road, gets a 6-6. Yeah, that's what happens. That's I think it's a roll whether you get a 6 or a 7 on this guy. It's a guarantee to leave this one at 6, but yeah, with a com tower for each, this is what can happen. He's gonna go and pressure over here, and you would have to. I mean, this is the only unit that can interrupt, actually. No, actually, you can send 2 tanks to take out the recon, and then this guy can go and interrupt over there. Ludovico's unit count is much better. Did they lose yet? Oh, it doesn't tell me. Damn it. So, interrupt keeps capping. Join? Definitely join. Join! I know some people don't like to join cap because they feel like, oh, then we just traded infantry, like one dead, one dead. But this is pretty easy now to just send another one and interrupt it. If you join here, then that's a guarantee. Then he would have to break through and get 2 hits to stop that capture. Okay, goes for a few attacks. It's not going to go to the... Ooh. Wow, gets the lucky roll too there. But has a bunch of backup. Only 1 tank to defend. And yeah, not looking good for Gooby. He does get that hit. I think this is a very high probability roll to get the clear there. But he's not interrupting that. He's going to put this arty here. But this should be pretty easy to attack. Easy clear on this infantry. Send the tank. Boom. Hit that arty. Attacking over there. Maybe attack the other guy? Yeah, I mean, this guy should attack from the city, honestly. Like, attack this guy, boom, and then this guy, send it. Maybe attack this guy? Something of that sort. Because now you really want to exploit the extra stats with Lash. It's not only about the attack that you do during your turn, but also the potential counterattack from the other, from your opponent. So in this case, it's pretty easy for this guy to just go and slap this guy. There's also no tank to retaliate, so this is a pretty bad trade. That's a 1-for-1. Even more than that, because this tank had attacked this guy. So that's a pretty good trade here for Lash. Now you see the mech spamming, desperation times. Only 2k ahead. Ludovico's got this capture, so the only thing that is 2k ahead, oh, it's because he got this flip. But yeah, not looking good for Gooey at all. He would have to be winning some of these brawls because all this charge is going up and those missiles are gonna hurt. Now I got the copter spamming, which is forcing Gooey to get some anti-airs out, but he desperately needs tanks because there's like 1 tank here against 3 tanks, 2 tanks against 2 tanks. He needs more tank numbers, but he also has to make anti-airs now against the copters, so it's just all is looking good for Ludovicus. He could honestly just shift everything towards over here, which is kind of what he's doing. Just forget about this, destroy army, and eventually just win. And the missiles are coming, so good luck. Neo tank. Oh, was it? It was to bait the missile. Oh man, and this army here getting wiped out. Dang, that hurts so much. Starting the turn, like with the power, very similar in army, is not good. And now, I think all of this is going to be wiped out. Even the arty is down. If you don't have tanks, sure, you have an answer to deal with copters, but there's tanks and you can't deal with them. That's going to be some sad times. Now these guys can go forward because yes, they're infantry here, but this army is wiped out. Prime Tactics is going to be very sad with a bunch of injured units because Lash wants to have full HP units for Prime Tactics. Oh, and exposing the anti builds another one. Yeah, definitely not worth it to like take out a 3 HP tank with an anti and then get it taken out just to build another one. Probably just keep it on somewhere in the silo or in the city. Yeah, this match is so over. So this is just operation cleanup, cap stuff, double the amount of unit counts. This is just super GG. Gooby's not gonna resign. He's not gonna use his prime tactics. He's gonna wait until a better time, but it is big cleanup time. Not even covered by this anti-air. Prime tactics is used, but I'm expecting to see a GG right now. Okay, never mind. Maybe we'll have to wait to the second covering fire, as Ludovic is now moving on towards the HQ area to really close it out. Yeah, okay, if you don't want to resign, then I'm gonna make you resign. So here comes the pressure. He is going to take that out. He is going to start capturing attacks that already. Yeah. I'm sorry, Gooby, but it is so over. Damn, I don't think we've seen a single copter go down. There's been so many anti from Gooby, but not a single copter was taken out. Good job there by Ludovicus to protect the copters. Let's look at some stats. And I love this add-on. I love it so much and I want to use it more. I'm so happy that it works again. Please. I hope I didn't jinx it. Oh, I think I have to change the army colors. Or no, I think it doesn't work when they have like some of the newer armies. Yeah, I think because Gooby had the Uzium guys, it's not gonna work. Oh, man, that sucks. Hey, Big Brady, my newest video is probably the best ever. Dang. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it. You know, it's funny that you say that. And I've seen some comments also say that they really like that video. When I recorded it, I was not happy with the recording. I was like, oh, this video is pretty bad. And it took me like 3 or 4 weeks until like I watched it, because that's what I tend to do. I watch the recording to make sure that I didn't say anything stupid or something. And also like do the editing, so I put the little thingies and stuff. Yeah, this is not gonna work. Damn. But I rewatched it. I was like, oh, this was probably bad. I was already planning on re-recording it. But I was like, oh, it wasn't that bad. It was actually pretty decent. So yeah, I'm glad you like it. That one was a long one too. It was like an hour or something. I think this is not gonna work unless I change it back to. Let's see. No, because what I had heard is that if it has any of the 4 new armies, it's not gonna work. Oh man, I wish someone could do this, or this would be like native to the site, but if not to like improve this extension, yeah, it's not gonna work. Oh man, let's try like this. Because I want to see the early stats of that greediness. the thing is, what I understood from, I can't remember who it was that said that it doesn't care about what colors you select. It uses the colors that the players originally used. Yeah, and if it has the one of the newest armies, it's not gonna work. Ah, oh, dang it. Okay, so we can just manually do this. Let's go to come on, replay. Oh, here. So Gooby, right? Skipped a lot of income. Really, I don't understand this one. I know he's trying to get this one, then go back. But it's like this. We can put this on, take out the music. So yeah, he gets that city. He gets that. I think even here, this could have been much better. Like, sure, you go capture this. I think you don't even have to go capture this. You can go to, you can set up there. You bring this tank over there, capture here, and like that. Something like this, I think. And then you go and capture this stuff. Whatever. Why is it not working? Okay, this finishes capping that. This finishes that. And then you might have to base skip, although it's pretty bad. Maybe recon double. I think you just have to. You just have to do triple infantry. Even if you do, oh, because you're getting 1, 2, 3. So you're gonna get 11K. Triple infantry puts you at 16, so this way you can do double tank next turn. I think this is kind of fine. This guy could be over here. Yeah, something like this. Either here or actually maybe here is better. Because then this guy can either protect this guy. So say Ludovicus wants to go crazy and interrupt here, maybe from the road, and which would be really bad because flash. If he attacks from the plains, then this guy can respond from the forest. Also this one from the plains. I mean from the city, or from the silo. Like this is really good. And then it is also in range of capturing this. Well, this guy can go capture that. Either that or put it over here. So then it's in range of this city. Because Ludovicus is not going to be in time. He's going to move over here. He can threaten a first strike. Or actually, just even better, just start capturing there. That's probably the best thing. So I think this would be the play. I think that's probably what he does. Oh no, he actually doesn't. He actually goes for that city. Yeah, I think probably better here to rush this city. But then this way, Ludovicus does not want to go and attack that, right? On our plains with the Comtar, he would have the Comtar. It's a 4, so it leaves it at 6 for sure, but then it replies back, so it leaves yours at 6 or 7. And if you swap that, say this one's at 6 and this one's at 7, you would do 3, 4. So I think it's very likely that it goes down to 3. Yeah. So it's 3 and then 5, right? So it's already winning. You're slightly ahead in tank number. And you got the captures. So I think this would be the play. Then this tank does not want to attack there. It would maybe... if it attacks from the plains to attack this infantry, then you attack it back from the city. So even amazing. There's not any real good place for this tank to go, unless like maybe the HQ, just because. But then it's like, okay, whatever, just be on the HQ, I guess. You can put the city, this tank over here, while this guy goes to capture, something like that. And then, yeah, but this was devastating. This formation right here was pretty devastating. I think he just like did a full move and then was like, oh, I need to protect it because I'm not gonna make a tank. And this just kind of spirals out of control. And then the recon doesn't allow for a double tank turn. And this turn, because he has 13k, right? But over here, he would have 13. No, we said 13 plus 3 more, that's 16, so double tank. He doesn't need a recon here or tank that early. So I think that would be kind of okay. It kind of sucks that he can't do the tank chain on this turn. But I think this would have been better. Just better positioning here. Just in this matchup, you have to be very precise with Lash, and you really have to exploit those terrain tiles. Let's see what he said, actually. So he says, it's difficult for me to pinpoint. Oh, man. That was a big text. Okay, it's difficult for me to pinpoint what mistakes specifically that I made that put me at such a disadvantage. It feels like my opponent overextended and fought in my reinforcement range a lot and still came out ahead. Yeah, but you can overextend if you have more army. That's the thing. I've seen this map played before, so I know the center cities are very contested, so I went for them early, and I also know the map typically evolves into an HQ rush. No. You're right that the cities are very contested. The HQ rush, I don't think that's the case. I think it's very defensible. You have the base, you have the airport. Especially once the airport is online, you're not getting HQ rushed. It's more so a dance between these cities, these on the sides, and then a little bit of the center control. There's this long, like, you know, forest and mountains that kind of divide the middle from the sides. So it kind of, you have to pay that price of trying to go for the middle and front switching. But it's a pretty fast map. Usually matches are very short like this. It's all about these early fights. Which cities do you prioritize? HQ rush would be, I don't see it happening. You would need like a lot of like infantry, arty, anti-air from the 2 base going forward into this area, but yeah, I don't see it. It's also pretty easily reinforceable from this base over here. A tank, it's like 2, 4, 6. You can put it over here, the airport as well. So you can kind of do like double base airport into the HQ if needed. And if they invest too much into the HQ to attack it, you can probably punish by like getting these other properties from them. Hence the mechs on my weak side to defend from it, since I thought it was inevitable. Ooh. So this is not gonna take out your HQ for sure. It's like also being Lash, you put a tank on that HQ and they are not gonna take it with just tanks. They're gonna need arties, they're gonna need copters, also mechs. They're not that great. So I'd be very picky of making mechs. They're usually better when they just go in one direction, especially from the 2 base, because you're just gonna go and put pressure. They're kind of like a softer arty, and they also play really nicely with arties. I was being defensive there on purpose. At some point, I basically sacked an infantry on the weak side to delay a city flip. I recognize now that was probably a mistake, since unit count is much more important on the weak side. But once I realized, I stopped doing it. I feel like I took effective engagements from high defense terrain often, but it just didn't do anything for me. You did sometimes, but sometimes you didn't. Like there was this tank trade over here. There was that initial part. It's just, you have to always use that good defense. And forcing them not to want to attack you into the good defense. Their copters seem invincible because they walled them so well. Yeah. They walled their copters with mostly infantry, so my tanks had an impossible dilemma between attacking other tanks or clearing the way so the anti could take out the copters. I couldn't do both. I made so many anti just because I wanted every unit to be covered, so that no matter what they attacked, with their copter, I had an anti in range to retaliate, but it didn't end up working at all. They deliberately fought on my strong side within 1 turn reinforcement range, and I just don't know how they didn't get punished for that. How that ended well for them. I also briefly attacked in on my weak side for 1 turn at some point, since they left me a way to wall break and strike their tank from a city, and they ended up pulling back there for a turn. I did overextend a little bit with a tank, but I can't help feel like they overextended infinitely more than I did and just got away with it. What could I have done better? So there's a few things there's like good rules of thumbs, you know, don't overextend. But it's like you kind of have to. It's not as straightforward. You can sometimes sort of overextend if they don't have enough army. So let's see at one point, when is it that you say that he overextended? So this is overextended. I mean, if you were making tanks, then yes, this is obviously a moment where he has to retreat, and this was overextended. I think if you mean the early tank attack overextended, that is not overextended. That was a very good attack by him. If there was a tank here, then no, but you would have to base skip for that tank. Maybe it was worth it, maybe it wasn't. But yeah, this was pretty problematic. I don't think he overextended per se. Like after this, he pulls back, attacks where he can, then slowly puts pressure over here, then gets the city, pulls back because you're heavily invested here, and that's a problem because then he just front switch everything over here. Didn't even make a tank here. Like that's how confident he is, making tank copter from this base for the past 2 turns, and just all the infantry were accumulated here. Now switching over here, just gonna destroy this area. Yeah, I guess this is what you mean overextended. It's just he has so much more army, and he's getting the super. So it's a matter of like CO matchup there as well. Like maybe he shouldn't have done this, but it allowed him to attack the RD, so this gives him a lot of value. This was an even trade pretty much. And then he gets the super anyway, so it's like what could I have done better? Yeah, I guess we already went over it. So GG. We're gonna move on to the next one. I think it was like bad positioning early, way too greedy perhaps. But it maybe could have worked if the positioning would have been better. And then just making better use of the terrain. There were certain attacks that were bad trades. And then probably not mechs from the one base, probably. Make copters also as well. Like I know you're Lash, but at least one copter is going to be good to force some anti-airs. And you can get extra hits from mountains, for example. So you can open some tactics there. Okay, let's move on to the next one. And actually, I think I'm going to go to the bathroom real quick. No, another dino. We can't see the stats on these games. No. Oh, if someone wants to fix that, I would be so thankful for that. Because I love that add-on. Yeah, I'll be back. I'll leave you guys with some music and I'll be back. All right. let's get into this one. So we have Fearless with Kindle in the dinos, the Silver Claw, and then we have how do you say this name? Are these Korean symbols? I don't know how to call this player. But we have Orange Star here with also Kindle. So Kindle Mirror, I think this map is called Darkling Woods, made by Daddy Maxhack. Crazy map. So you have your 2 base, and then you have a base airport, and then another base airport. You have comm tower over here and another comm tower over here. They're both pretty contested, although this one you easily get it with this base, but it can become like the 2 base can pressure it. It's funny because usually two base areas are your stronger areas, but in this map the airports are so strong that the base airports end up being stronger. I think it's mostly because there's been a lot of cases where this base airport and this base airport kind of join forces to attack the 2 base, and the 2 base terrain is so awkward for land vehicles that it's very hard to defend against, especially just copter spamming. You can get trapped very easily. We've seen medium tanks being made just to hold on. But yeah, we've seen a lot of like this falling and then having like a south versus north kind of thing. So already we have, let's see, a bit of a discrepancy in capturing over here. So Dinos Fearless here going for this city first instead of the chain with a comm tower, unlike Orange Star over here. Then skipping Orange Star here, skipping this city to go for this one. So now Fearless cannot interrupt it. Okay. He's gonna move on over here, try to go for one of these two. Tank goes down here instead of upwards. I think that's fair. Can only contest these two really. And he's gonna make Artie. Oh, base skip Artie. Dang, okay. Interesting. So didn't want to not make a vehicle this turn. He is definitely gonna pass on making double tank next turn. I think he can make copter triple infantry, so base skip copter. That is a costly arty, but he might be looking to stop this capture from red and then plopping the arty right there. I think that's the idea. There goes a comm tower cap, which red is going to be a bit more ahead, and he's actually going to tank chain here just so this tank can stand there without getting first struck. You know, this could also just go in the forest and not need a tank chain because there's no comm tower cap just yet. Or an idea. Let me see this. So let's do it on the forest. So it's possible to get a I mean, maybe you get lucky and get a 5, and then it would be a 5 and 5 8. Okay, so then it's kind of bad, but I don't think you win that trade, honestly. But imagine if it's on the plains, like there where it is, and then it is a 5 8, but then this guy attacks back at 5 from a city, leaves it at 5. Okay, still a losing trade. So yeah, maybe the tank chain was needed, but maybe you could make a mech. Anyways, just tank chaining here. He's actually not that bad of an idea because there's this arty here it means that he will probably not make a copter from the space. So he doesn't have to rely on having to build an anti here. Wow, not going for the interrupt? That is crazy. Wow. I think that should easily be interrupt, pop the already right there. I believe he's looking to having orange star here finish it and then just doing already infantry kill. But orange star is still gonna have that city for a couple of turns, so he's still getting some money. I think it's definitely worth to interrupt and then just have that, and then you're denying red from a good amount of funds. This is all assuming that Fearless is getting the flip here, which is tricky because tanks can reach here in one turn. I guess here also, because of the airport. So, okay, got the infantry capping the com tower now. Red could go into, which would be a pretty bad idea. Makes another tank from this base. I think Silver Claw could have made a tank over here, honestly, instead of over here, because the tank here would be threatening this interrupt over here, so it would force red to build a vehicle over here, and then red has to decide, do I make a tank here to defend that, or do I make a vehicle over here to put a threat on this already? So I think that would have been better. This tank is not doing anything. Yeah, I would like to know what's the reasoning behind this tank. Perhaps he sees the tank chain and he's like, oh, I need to respond to this. But you're probably not going to do anything. You only have this guy, and then you're going to get this, and then you're probably going to be looking to go for these properties. Red is going to go for that. We got 4 tanks here not doing anything. And okay, red is actually gonna make a copter here, yeah, because there's no other threat in the map. Then, yeah, Fearless could have done a tank here, and then red would have to make a tank here. And then I think that would have been a really good scale up, because then, okay, you make a tank, okay, I make a tank, I start the capture. If you go, then Silver Claw could go and attack. Red could attack, oh, actually from the city, so that would be pretty bad. But Fearless goes to make a copter, so then it's a fun thing. Oh, to make an anti. But anyways, he's gonna go for this, get the kill. Has to make an anti now. It's all a matter of forcing builds. Okay, makes the anti, okay. But you can see how awkward this is. This copter can go over here now, and then the anti is like, oh, do I go here, do I go there? Com tower, ooh, missed position there by Fearless. Dang, yeah, you always gotta. That is probably, and then a free interrupt here. Man, Fearless, really Fearless, but very problematic. This is a very bad start now. Not only the base skip, but now getting free damage done. It's not good. He would need some amazing gaming right now to bring this back. This is very bad. Got the RD also maybe looking to go for this city. Okay, goes for that interrupt. He only has one infantry to go for this. So it's probably not advisable to go for it, even with the RD. Because he has 3 infantry in range to interrupt. He has a mountain, he has a forest. He's gonna block there to guarantee the infantry capturing the com tower and brings his arty over here. So he's gonna go for that. I think it's probably easier to get this city than this one. I guess he had that coverage, but yeah, the copter hitting there is not good, man. Now we have the anti-air. Okay, good blocking there so the tank can attack here. So now this stuff is all protected from the copter. But this copter can easily just come here, boom, finish this tank. Or I guess you do that. Oh, because you have this copter here, I didn't see. Oh man, there's so many things going on. Oh, it doesn't go for the attack, just keeps capping. That does force, I think, this infantry to attack. Because Silver Claw here has a comm tower. No, I think he's good. I think he can use a 6 HP guy. Wait, because he left it at 6. How much does it do? 42. Yeah, so it's a guarantee. This guy can still interrupt. I think this guy should have shot back. Okay, we got tank. Fearless. Everything is covered by the copter. What do you do now? Well, he wants to go for this. There's an infantry in range to interrupt it. He's gonna get there, interrupt, clear, attack from the city. Gets the other comm tower. Okay, gets set up there. It looks like this is such a tiny army. You have double tank. Okay, copter going to finish off the tank. So now they're even. But this copter is there. You do have the anti support. Okay. Sacrifices that infantry. Moves all of these up. Ooh, okay, that is not a good idea. I think. Is there a world where you can attack here? He's here in range now. Oh man, that is crazy. Wild map. So, man, crazy board state. As red, what do you do? Is there anything that you can attack without coverage from the anti-air? Okay, he goes for infantry attacks. He has a double comm tower, so that's a guaranteed kill. And he starts capping and already. Okay, he goes for the stuff that he can get. Backs away with a copter. So eventually Fearless got an even trade here. I think he lost an extra infantry in the process. Gets a kill there. Got the tank in range. Kind of far though. Not sure why so far. Like, why is it not here? Right? I guess maybe here, because I think he's trying to protect this infantry from the anti-air. But it could have been here, so then it's a little bit closer to this area as well. Oof. Okay, Fearless. What do you do now? Okay, trading. So 2 for 1. Starts this capture. A little bit scared from this airport capture, I guess. Hunts down that infantry, goes for an attack there. Ooh, actually that's pretty neat. This tank cannot attack this guy without getting attacked by this. From a city. Well, I think he could attack from here. And then this guy goes to capture. Okay, but he just goes and takes that guy out. Oh man, these mixed base maps. There's just so much going on. setting up over here to lock down that. Another arty when he had funds to make a tank. Okay. Oh. And we're getting close to that urban blight too. So, okay, he's gonna allow one attack there as he clears an infantry. He doesn't... Why are we not capping? Is he scared of urban blight? Dang. Okay, he goes for the tank attack there just to get enough for an urban blight, which stops this cap, gets some damage. Well, especially this guy. So I think he might be looking to sit on the base. I think you take this out and then anti comes around, sits on the base. Oh. Well, to be fair, I think it might not be a good idea. Let's put this here. So let's see if this would clear on a city at 7. Hey, this is not a bad idea. Also, what if this guy attacks? Ooh, come on. I think that's a good idea. This tank comes here, takes it out. Anti sits on the base. Boom. Does 4, maybe 5 damage. And then you have the anti at 8. The thing would be, would it die then next turn with an urban blight response tank? I think it shouldn't. But we can look at that later. Anyways, doesn't go for that. Goes for that capture. Big pressure on this red base right here. No tank here, so... Or no like copter anti. So he made a tank. So he spent the funds here, and that was it. So, and the problem being that the composition wise, you have a tank and a copter. So, especially with Urban Blight, this can be a big problem. This is Urban Blight, tank goes, hits this, and there's an almost dead anti. Hey, Star Flash. Here goes a counter Urban Blight, blocking there, but not really, because this should be pretty easy to clear and then attack the arty. I don't like this from red here. Dead infantry. There goes a 1. Dang. And yeah, finishes it off there, yeah. Oh man, they're trading bases. But they're different bases. Imagine Fearless went with the anti there. I think that last turn from Fearless could have been much better. We'll have to look at that later. But it could have been pretty decisive. As he gets some sacks to get the kill, doesn't get the kill. But this should be enough to keep this in. Tank cannot reach. He could get an attack here, but probably bring the other arty. So enough unit count here where he can block and guarantee good damage. And he's going for the panic buy. I'm gonna save my base medium tank button. And absolutely abandoning this base over here. Gets that city, starts the comm tower cap. This is gonna be a big problem. I think red can also block over here. But it is at 9. So yeah, he's gonna do that. And Here comes the RD to deal with the medium tank eventually. This tank is blocking so that he can guarantee the counter cap. We'll see if Fearless gets an Urban Blight. I don't think he will. But he finished that off. Yeah, he's getting that base. He got the airport. He is going for that Urban Blight. Okay, so he's sacrificing a copter right there. Okay, he's actually getting much more charge than I thought he was going to get. And he's not going to use Urban Blight, it seems like. He's going to wait until next turn. You're not going to stop that capture. Okay, he does use it. He's at 6. We'll drop it down to 5. And then... you could send this guy. But I'm sure red here is going to join. And then you put the infantry over here. You block around. So yeah, I don't think Fearless is stopping this space. Here goes the Urban Blight. Delays this base cap. He does not join. He doesn't join, he doesn't block. My guy, you're gonna lose that capture right there. Unless you block these 3 tiles with these 3 vehicles. Here comes the RD. Will red sustain this attack over here? I think it's pretty easy for Fearless to... I think this is pretty easy. You move off this tank, maybe like attack this guy. Medium tank, blast this anti from the base. Anti comes in and attacks the RD from the city. So yeah, looking really good from Fearless because he gets this and he's not gonna lose this base. Well, he did lose this. So I guess they're even. Another RD, yeah. Let's see if Fearless does that over here. And actually red not blocking over here with the vehicles. Dang, so he might not lose this. He could easily just go attack here, build something. Oh, actually, I don't know if a 7 HP copter takes that out. It doesn't. Ooh. Okay. No, wait, why the medium tank? No. Oh, I guess you can do it that way, yeah. That works too. Yeah, that's actually better. He's gonna lose that airport, but it shouldn't be a problem because there's not enough army to sustain it. I think it's not looking good for red. He's losing the fight over here. A bit, I don't know, overextended, overcommitted, and Fearless didn't go to stop that. So now we have a base tree that I don't know if I've seen before, or at least that I haven't casted before, where it's like this land area against this land area. Pretty funny. They have unmixed the map, pretty much. But red is not gonna get this base. There's too much firepower from Fearless. Okay. And now we have way more army for Fearless, both over here in the north and down here in the south. Even this already, the support already got sniped, so I think this is over for red. We'll see what he tries to do. He's ahead on the capturing flipping game, so he's gonna have a bit more of cash to pump out in these next few turns as he makes a bomber over here, which would force Fearless to make another anti-air. If he can... Oh, this anti-air doesn't reach. But this shouldn't be a problem. I think it should be easy for Fearless to take out these guys, just make another anti-air, and then just have the 2 anti-airs just backing up each other as he makes the Urban Blight. No anti-air? Dude. Hey, P-Dog. Thank you. See you later. Dang. Anti-air's running out of ammo. Urban Blight. And these are at 1. You need that other anti-air. I don't know why we're making copter tank over here, not anti-air over here. It makes another bomber. No. What is happening? He joins, gets a bit more extra cash because he was about to base skip. He just makes infantry everywhere. Extremely committed. I mean, now this is vital because there wasn't another anti-air, and this anti-air got hit by the bomber. And because we have a double bomber, this base could be going down. I mean, yeah, it is going to. There's no... He would have to make a fighter. 2, 4, 6, 7, 9. Yeah, I think Fearless has to make a fighter. You cannot make an anti-air now. You're going to lose that base if not. You have to make a fighter. Okay, we're going to get a bit of a stare off up here, and he is going to make a fighter. Woo! Okay. Man, the double bomber. I think that's going to be the end of the road here for red. That is going to be one dead bomber, no response, like no response to the fighter pretty much. We got some RDs here, some RD gaming. Copters are going to be very strong here, which red has 3 airports and Fearless only has 1. So he better be pumping out air units every single turn. That's going to be one dead bomber, bye-bye bomber. And that's going to be a trapped bomber, and it's going to be a dead bomber next turn. So looking good for the Dino army. Good time to be part of the Dino army instead of the Orange Star army. Because, yeah, this is kind of over. There's too much going on here. That bomber's going to be dead, and then you still have this to deal with. A bunch of properties here. Potentially under threat in a couple of turns once these infantry move forward. And red just has to like overinvest a lot over here just to keep up. But would also lose over here at the top. T-Copter here from Fearless. Can he hold on? He still has extra income because he has these 2 properties on both sides. And I guess the airport also. So he has that extra income. So that is kind of saving the day for him. That is going to be 2 bombers dying to a fighter. Oof. The first one got some value, but yeah, losing 2 is not good. Urban Blight. It is weakening this RD in this comm tower. He could probably put 1 over here. No, actually, no, because then he gets Urban Blighted back. Just taking it one step at a time. Making anti-airs and RDs. Just really focusing on this city. As red is not putting any other threat. And getting free damage with the vehicles down here in the south. As the infantry are slowly moving towards all of this long diagonal of cities. He's gonna get 2 RD hits. And there's gonna be 2 dead copters though. This infantry is gonna be... It's gonna soon finish that capture, don't worry. Okay, 2 dead copters. Okay, joins the RD there and gets an attack there. I think that's pretty fair. As he's getting a bunch of free damage over here. Oh, hey, Rodell, you new to the game? Nice. That's really cool. How did you first hear of the game? I'm always curious about that. I wish we had like a forum or something for people to feel like, how do you find out about Advanced Wars? But and we have the High Society. Damn. Okay. 1 hit KO. Ooh, on a city. It's on the forest. Dang, I guess because he has so many cities. That is obviously a dead RD. Dead tank. Dead anti. Dead RD. Oof. Oh man. No, not the anti onto the medium tank. How much? No! Semi is like just shaking his head. Dang, that was a decent High Society right there. Gonna bully this copter with some infantry and mechs. And although that was very nice, he still ends the turn behind on unit, army, and count. So, oof. I wonder if Fearless is also going to use the high society. Clear this. Oh, I think you don't get that clear. I don't think you get that clear. Yeah, he needs a bit more. Maybe with the infantry. Okay, he uses the power. This already has been getting hit by so many urban blights. Blocking in the medium tank with a fighter. Okay, the fighter is still getting some value while locking down this airport. It's pretty neat because then out of the 3 airports, only 1 can be used by red. Okay, just playing conservatively here by Fearless. Getting the damage he can, getting this capture. No urban blight is going to be coming by red because he used high society. That's going to be a guaranteed flip. And we're starting to see what took a couple of turns, but eventually these infantry made their way into this diagonal of property. So red is going to be bleeding out that property lead he's been having. That has been saving his butt pretty much. As he makes us... Why are you making us... There's a fighter! There's literally a fighter right there! Why? There's also just like one answer. Like, why are we even making a stealth? I think... Is it a GG? Yeah, it's a GG. It's a GG stealth build. That's funny. I wish we could have the stats here, but yeah, it's not going to work because of the dinos. That was a good game. This was going to be the nail in the coffin. This was the only thing keeping red alive in the game, but his trades were not that great. He had a good high society there, but the double bomber loss, and then too much value being lost here also for free. Yeah, it didn't end up paying off, and then this is just going to seal the deal. All these properties, he's going to lose that property advantage. It's already behind in so many other counts. That was just going to be the end of it. This map never fails to deliver. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, really good game. Let's see what the submitter said. Oh, I forgot to mention, last time the game was submitted by Gooby. This time it was submitted by Fearless. So he says... In this match, I was down 6 to 7k income. Yeah, in these last couple of turns, and overall, my opponent generated 80k more than me. Now they went crazy and really threw their advantage, which allowed some of my tactics to call me back from. I was able to capitalize more on my opponent's mistakes. After replay of reflection, my opponent was really bad. This was the 3rd or 4th time playing this map, and although I feel I understand the mid-late game, my opening is bad. I see how there are opportunities to skip early infantry and delay closer caps. Yeah, pretty much spot on. Let's go to the early game. Because I know Fearless was the one that had done the RD base skip. And I mean, this is what I always say, like, it's not black or white. Oh, this was done and now that was the end of it. It's always like a chain of events, right? Because this already is like, oh, okay, you base skipped and you're also not getting double tank next turn. You can't even threaten a copter build next turn. So there's a lot of things that you're losing from making this RD. So what are you gaining from it to in exchange, right? It is to get this city. But then this happens. He goes, this actually red goes for that capture when he could have. I guess this infantry could have gone over here. Oh no, never mind. So he goes for that, and he could have gone like this was the perfect setup to go for infantry attack, RD on the plains or the forest, and then you get since you don't have a comm tower, you might be rolling a low 6, so it'd be like a 6/6. Oh no, actually it could be, so it's either a 6/6 or a 7/5 maybe. So that's pretty bad, but then red can decide to either finish your infantry off, but you can finish it off with your RD, that kind of thing. Yeah, it's not the most ideal, but I think that is kind of what has to happen, because allowing this and then being like, oh, I'm just gonna get it later, it's like, let's see how long red holds it. For a long time. Okay, let's go back and see. So he gets it this turn. He doesn't get money until next turn. So day 6, right? Interrupt there. Interrupt. Okay. So he got money on day 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Those 6K that red got from this city, which, because Fearless allowed it, that single infantry, although it would have been a trade, like a 1-by-1 infantry, if red like kept fighting and taking it out, it would have been 6K less that red would have generated. So that's part of the extra money that red made. That's 6K. That's a good amount. That's almost a tank right there. That would have been a really good trade, actually. Just like trading an infantry each to take out 6K in army from the other one. That is nice. That's like cleaning up a tank with no retaliation. So things like that. I think there was other early builds as well. Let's see. After the arty. Oh, this one, the tank chain over here. So this tank, I don't really see why this tank is being made. Like, you don't need this tank chain since this guy just backed off. If this tank would have been like, I don't know, here, then maybe yes. I still don't think so, because you would still be... Actually, yes, you would need this tank chain if you put this tank here, but why would you do that? So I think this tank could have just not been there. So it could have been like... I want to show this. Why is it so small? So imagine... Oh, it's because it's the dinos. I have to change this to Blue Moon. Okay. Let's put the music for you guys. So imagine this tank doesn't exist. So he would have 9K. Instead, he would have made an infantry, and this infantry doesn't exist. And he would have made a tank here instead. I guess I could have just swapped those guys around, but whatever. Now, red has to decide to start capturing this. He has to make a tank, right? To defend from this tank. But because he doesn't have to, red instead makes a copter over here, which threatens this whole thing. So in the scenario where like red gets this, why is it not? I swear when I use the move planner on a normal day-to-day basis, it works. But whenever I'm streaming, it just does not want to work. It does not let me do the capture thingy. But imagine this gets captured. Red would either have to just not go for this capture or go for it and make a tank here. Like, he has to. There's no alternative, or else blue gets a free interrupt over here. I think he also probably starts one of these captures, right? Oh, he starts the other one. Okay. So I guess that's another thing, but you could go for either of these. I think you probably go for this. I don't know why he goes for that one. I think he's maybe looking to go for the com tower later. I don't know. But whatever, he goes there. In this case, if red wants to go for that, then he has to make a tank to defend from this tank, which would be a good defense. I think then it would make sense for red to just go for that, or else this tank is just going to attack there. But this tank is pressuring a lot, right? It was pressuring this city, and it was pressuring this city right here. Forces this tank here, and then red can now make a copter or a tank here. Copter is a great response here, honestly, from this. So yeah, that early tank I think could have been just much more stronger. It could have been a copter base skip as well. Might be worth it, but that would already be double base skip, and I don't know if you want to be base skipping that much. So here red gets this, and then he would have to has 6k and has 3 more bases, so probably just triple infantry. And you can also punish the tank chain from red, because what are these tanks gonna do? Like they're not doing anything. They'll like go and I don't know, stare out in the plains. Probably lets them get no, not even, because he doesn't have the infantry in range. But yeah, allowing this, I think that's one of the secrets of one of the the secret sauce of mixed base maps. So you want to force builds from the opponent. You want to know how much money they have and what can they afford, and kind of restrict what they can do. Like, do you want to allow them to be able to make a copter, which would put you into like, oh, I have to make an ant or whatever, or do you want to build something here so then they have to respond with a tank? So then it's just that kind of dynamic. You want to be forcing those kind of builds. Let's move on to the next one, possibly the last one, before my stomach starts grumbling. Ooh, we got a spicy one. Oh man, this map is big. Oh. Well, you're gonna not be able to see half like this part. Too bad. So we got this map. What is it called? It's called Wrong Turn. Okay. I believe it's made. It looks very gorilla-esque. Yeah, it is. So, Poland against New 1234, which is kind of a new player, I believe, in the community that plays a lot of live gaming and is pretty good at it. I think he's climbed the live league ladder quite a bit. So, two very good live players. Poland, we obviously know. And actually, this is going to be the first game that I ever see from New. So I'm very interested to see this. So let's see. We got Poland in his favorite army color, which is Orange Star. Goes with the Poland colors. With Adder here in the south. And then we have New in the Blue Moon with Coal here at the top. No base delays from these guys. They're going for faster income. Okay. Poland not going for any city skips. Going for the airport. New is going to go for a city skip right here, so he's going to be a little bit quicker on these contested properties. He might be looking to get that comm tower early. Wait. Gonna make a tank over here. There's a pretty big split here of terrain, right? River, a bunch of mountains. So I got this pretty important pivot right here. And the airport right smack in the middle. So I'd assume that obviously these are going to be pretty contested. These two are highly contested. It's going to be, 2 turns for this base and then 3 turns for this base. But because New's going to be a little bit quicker because he skipped, it might work out. So actually, new skipping tank builds. Let me go back a second. Yeah, he could have made a tank. He didn't. I guess he didn't want to have the BAAB tank order. He just wanted to have a tank chain. So Poland is the one with the tank chain, and New is just getting more infantry. I guess he would have made the tank on this base, perhaps. But yeah, that means that Poland comfortably made his tank from over here, from his like stronger side. But it is gonna mean he's gonna be a little bit lower in infantry. And New is not gonna go for this city. He's gonna go for this one. He doesn't want to allow the interrupt there from the forest. And skipping again this city, going towards the middle. Okay. Not going also for this one. And Poland not going for this one either. So these two, man, big stare off there. Not going to go for any of those. It's going to be nice for Cole to get the extra 10% boom interrupt there. Here comes the tank. Very centralized. Going to be protecting everything pretty much. There goes the tank chain. And New's going to obviously get his tank chain because he delayed the tank. He is going to go for an interrupt there. Okay. Getting into a bit of a fight here, but we'll see if Poland backs up and uses the tank to clear it. But interesting choices here. I think it's always worth considering whether to directly open with a tank. It's usually the safest, but let's see how it works out here for New. Just having more infantry and having your early tanks more like responding to the opponent's tanks rather than you being able to put the initiative. You're kind of having the initiative with the infantry and then backing up with your tanks. So doesn't go for the tank kill there, puts it over here, so Cole cannot get any road bonus here. He could attack from the forest, which is not bad. And it's also 2 base range from this, but it also is 2 bases from 2 turns from this. So a bit of an awkward spot. It is also a copter 2-turn range, very middle-ish kind of thing. But he is going to be able to get this and deny the mirror one from New. On the sides, New didn't go for a copter, he went for this instead. And now it's going to be time for these guys arriving to this area. So Poland's going to be able to deny this. There's only one single infantry from this base in this area, so New will probably have to back up, probably get this city. Poland's gonna go for that. Would it be? Oh wow. Okay, so Poland might get both comm towers. It depends. He's tank chaining from over here, so he doesn't have a lot of infantry. Goes for a double attack there. Brings one of the tanks to the sides. Okay, so Poland cannot get away with this. He has to bring one of the tanks. Can he switch around the tank? Okay, he can. He has to go through his forest and it would expose it to a first strike there. Maybe this tank should have been made over here. But oh, I think I forgot to mention this is a It's a lively game. So decisions are made on the fly. I think you can see the timer there. It's 10 minutes. Okay, goes for the 2 infantry kills there that New sent to interrupt. He's gonna get retaliated by 1 tank, but that is it. Classic Poland things. I mean, besides the obvious Poland things, but just going in for attacks like this because oh yeah, you can attack me, but that is just 1 and I'm fine, I have 3. So he's probably not gonna go for this, just gonna back up just in range of his tank. And New is doesn't go for the copter. Wow, it's gonna go for a city. Interesting. For that, here come the copters. And Paul actually base kit for the copter. He really thinks that copter was needed instead of anti-air. It does give you that flexibility of responding to a copter if it goes to one side or the other, because this guy can also respond going to one side or the other. Neo, on the other hand, is only 2 tanks against 3, but has the copter initiative. And he's not going to retaliate. So losing 2 infantry for almost 1 over here, but this is pretty much a denied city for now. And a little bit on the winning end of the infantry fights here, it seems. I'm just gonna block this city from getting captured. Okay, so Poland's definitely gonna move out. Oh, actually, he might not. He might just leave a tank there. Okay, goes for another kill. Goes for another copter, so we're gonna see that copter chain. I mean, he has to, right? Because if not, Neo can just start a copter fight and he'll win before the anti gets here. And oh, okay, actually sends 1 tank. Poland's gonna get the com tower next turn, so he's gonna have a little bit of an advantage there, and we're getting into sidestep territory as vehicles are staring at each other. Okay, copter and tank. So that is evening the tank numbers, especially because Poland sent 1 tank over here to deal with this guy. I think Neo has to move this guy at least to the city. Yeah, because if not, this guy could just attack from the forest, and that's a pretty good trade. Especially considering that he's gonna get the com tower, right? I think this is good. Do you attack here? Probably not. So Poland kind of running out of infantry in the middle, and he is actually going to send a copter. Gives him the sidestep, but I don't think he's going to use it. Goes for the tank attack, the 8-6. Okay. And yeah, just more copter chaining. I wouldn't be surprised to see a tank base keep right here from Poland. Yeah, there you go. Very you will see from him that you will see him doing that very often in live. Base keeping for an extra vehicle, moments like this. This tank is like holding down the fort all by itself, and it's forcing 1 tank to just be there, just enough, right? Just enough to protect these guys. But the moment that this tank arrives is going to put extra pressure, so now Neo will have to send something. Maybe he'll send a copter. Will he keep committing over here is the question. Paul has the com tower. Okay, he's going to get a hit there. And he is. Okay, he's going to keep committing. So he will have to copter chain still. Yeah. And goes for the tank attack there from the forest. Okay. So we'll have to make a tank over here, as he'll get attacked from the city most likely, or the road even. It could be. He has the com tower, right? Not sure how good of an idea it would be, because he also have the trail. Was it forced march? So he could do that and then take out the tank. Okay. Sidestep is active. Well, active. Ready. Gonna get that. I'm gonna keep getting more attacks here with this tank. Use the sidestep now. What for? Oh, is it for that? To interrupt the commentator? So he wants to make sure he has extra firepower for a bunch of more turns. And a bit more firepower there to get that. Ooh, nice 9.5 there. Okay, gets the nice terrain. It's a bit more damage there, and another one. Get those luck rolls. Okay, so looking good over here for Poland. There is, though, you have this nice road here for Cole, and his Trail of Woe is ready. This copter could swoop in and attack this guy, and this guy could attack this guy. So I don't know if that's a very good idea, because that is gonna make it positive for New. They've been like even every single turn just because of copter spamming chaining. But I think it's definitely worth it to do the Trail of Woe and get the 2 copter attacks. Also, this copter would attack from the road. And there you have it. In comes that copter, bonk. And he is not gonna get the comp tower, which would be nice to get that extra firepower. He would have gotten the clear there. But let's see. 5, 7, not bad, not bad. You would expect it to be a little bit better, but Adder does have the power on. He doesn't have the comp tower. And, oh, he doesn't go for the other cops. He goes for the tank. Okay. Goes for this comp tower instead of this one. Pretty funny. Unless Poland can get a side slip, this comp tower is gonna go down. And even then, I'm not sure that that's a good idea for Poland to do, because he would be losing all of his infantry in this area. And you also have the HQ here, so it's looking pretty scary here for Poland. I don't think he wants to be committing too many infantry. Or else it can become very dangerous very quickly. And he uses a side slip. He is okay. That's Poland. He wants to keep that comp tower advantage. Copter spamming to keep the copter trade going. Goes and chases that guy, and now he's tank chaining from the space, but he's running low on the infantry numbers. He still has enough. Dang, it is a interesting match. Copter chaining in the middle, pressure on the corners. None of them got this one, but you got this also cap that Poland snuck in, which Cole cannot. He cannot interrupt this. I think you have to go for like these two attacking this guy just to delay 1 turn. Okay, stops that one. Ooh, okay. Ooh, and this one was already a 2. Dang, this guy has been capping for a while. That's really funny. And he's actually gonna... Wow. So he's gonna let this go through. Dang. He's gonna lose a flip. He's also ahead, but it's only because he just got this city. And this is gonna get flipped. Oh, not yet. So they're pretty even in income, I'd say. Now Poland gets this one. This is gonna be very hard for New to get back. I don't think he can ever get it back, honestly, because this base is focused on too much. Just pumping out tanks every single turn, just to keep up with Poland's tank chaining. So he's not gonna have infantry to get this. Okay, trying to really hammer down this capture flip. All of this, we're at day 13, and New has not had a comp tower. That extra firepower from the roads, the only thing saving him from in certain engagements. But it's definitely not fun playing down a comp tower. And ooh, damn, drops down to 1. Copter running a bit wild there. No anti from Poland as he stopped the tank chain. Also, this tank went towards the middle instead. So he's not focusing anymore. He just wanted to get this and then pull back and then send everything towards the middle. It looks like he wants to go for this city and just have that income advantage. And instead, he started building a tank on this side. Very important. So, as a response, New sees this. They keep doing copters. There was an anti build here, but no more tanks here for New. So maybe in a couple of turns he could get this, but maybe it'll also be sent over here to reclaim some of this. We'll have to see. This is going to be a good combo now. Now that there's an anti-air, it is going to secure this copter. So no more copter sniping this, or else it's going to get taken out. And there goes that infantry from Poland. Try to get that. I'm surprised he went for this attack, because that is going to be a dead tank. And what? I feel like this might be too much. I feel like Poland in an async game would not do this. He would pull back. I think he thinks he might get away with it, but he's underestimating how much there is here from New. And he does go for the copter attack there. Dang. To get a 7-4. That's going to be a dead copter. Okay. I think he did it for the charge, right? Oh, no. Actually, no. He just wanted to. So, let's see. Yeah, I mean, this is easy clear. I think he can get 2 hits here and then attack this tank as well. But he's going to get the power. Tank. He reaches that way and then that way, and that capture is definitely stopped. No more vehicles in this area for Poland. The last one was this guy. It's like not looking good for Poland. I think that tank being lost for free was not a good idea. He's really trying to focus down over here. Now we've been seeing copter tank every single turn on this area. Now, will he be able to reclaim these? As now he's lost a comm tower. He might be down 2 comm towers now. And yes, now finally New is gonna get this. See? All this army from Poland means that New is gonna retreat and shift away. He's gonna focus on this. He might focus on this. He's joining here to have a fresh infantry to start the comm tower cap with a 10 HP infantry. Okay, makes an anti there. So many copters here from Poland, but there is a good number here from New as well. I mean, that could be a dead copter, and then you get another copter attack there, and then you could get a... No, this guy's blocking the way. They have the anti-air, can maybe help. Maybe with a power next turn, it could reach over here. And then you have this other copter as well. Okay, clears that. So that's 2. Almost gets the second copter. And then brings the anti-air. Okay, but there's not a lot of tanks here for Poland, as these are trying to front switch, and you got these guys coming in. So he has to make another anti-air. Does he have charge for another side slip? No. It's like 20k away. He can't even protect this guy. He doesn't reach any of these 3 next turn. This guy does reach this guy. Well, I guess you have this guy, but let's see. Let's see what New does here. He goes for a bunch of... Okay, Trail of Voice is going to attack with this tank. I think we should clear this and then attack this anti-air. Oh. I mean, Cole doesn't get extra from bridges. Okay, so there's that capture. A bit of an overwhelming unit count here in the middle. You got an anti-air that can be shot at. And will be shot at. Still lives. Poland, will he stop these captures? You got 1-2 captures going on here. He uses a side slip. Wow, he did get that side slip. Wow, that is... Wow. He was 20k away. Dang, okay. He got that side step and got that other copter. He gets the kill there, he gets the interrupt. Will it be enough? He has another infantry there to interrupt. This tank is full health. There's a bunch of injured tanks here from blue. Damn, will Poland get away with this? I see gets also the com towers, which is helping here. And I have a new wave of infantry that have been sitting back with the support of a tank. So now this tank will have to sit over here probably. Protect this, because now you got this on the thread. He's gonna use all the injured tanks actually, and I guess trade them for one full HP tank, and Poland making a recon to potentially hit this guy. 2, 4, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If he had a straight line here, maybe with a side slip, but come on. Okay, last turn you got it, but this turn 36k away. Oh, that's pretty bad. This tank getting injured is pretty bad, because this tank would be the one to defend from this guy, and he didn't make another tank. Oof. So this is big pressure now from new onto this area. Like, even if this tank just dies from this one, this isn't going to be no match for this guy. He can recklessly go and attack. Okay, he ends up clearing it. Clears all of this. Man, what a messy game. And yeah, he is forced to make another tank. He has to. And he gets everyone here in range to point at this. Also, potential HQ cap, right? But that's not going to happen. Catching up on that unit count as well for Poland after all those kills. But New is just going to go for this city. New is also a hit on income. Wow. Poland, what happened? I think it's because New has this pair right here. But at the same time, Poland has this one, which New doesn't. So they're 1k difference. It really doesn't matter with this much brawling. It's more about the trades. Okay, I think this is pretty good, because there's no tanks to attack the center, so he can freely go for this. Doesn't matter if there's a copter here. Ooh. Dang, it's looking good for Poland now. A big swing. Now Poland is ahead on that unit count. He has more initiative. He's the one with the copter and anti-air combination now. So New cannot go for this. He has less infantry over here. There isn't that many from Poland either, so... And there's also... this Recon is just going to die to this tank, probably. Okay, Recon dies, yeah. Kinda pulls back, but doesn't attack... just injures some of these, so there's less capable capping capable infantry. And base skips there for copter, double tank. And starts ahead on unit count. So yeah, Poland has successfully caught up. Ooh. Too greedy? Too greedy maybe? If you can get that forced march next turn? I don't think he can. No, there's no way he can. There's absolutely no way he can do it. So now it's like, ooh, right? We've had so much brawling and going from one side to another to the middle, and now it's like, ooh, a breather. Poland is still like going for this. He wants to get that income parity. He's gonna get this flip though, so, and he's gonna go for this property also. Ooh. Okay, so obviously gonna make a tank here. Oh, didn't go for that city. Okay. So he wants to focus more on the middle. Is there a forced march maybe here? We're getting into a big build up in the middle. Small brawling. Here comes a side slip. That is a guaranteed KO right there. Okay. Could he have blocked there? I think he could have blocked. Boom, boom. But maybe not, because he would clear. Oh. That is very Poland. That is very Poland to do. I mean, if he gets Trail of Woe, that is going to be a dead tank. Okay, gets the kill there. Oh, goes deep for 2 copter snipes. Or 1.5. And he does have the Trail of Woe after all that. So here it comes. Keeps the tank brawl here because Poland didn't do a tank chain because he had to make a tank over here because he's sacrificing this tank to get that city. And yeah, oh, actually, he's not going for he's actually going for the intercept. That is then copying the Poland strats there. Wow. I guess we're at day 23, so we're getting somewhat close to day limit, and they're pretty even in captures, so they gotta be careful, mindful of the captures. Unit count, they're pretty even. Poland did lose a lot of army, but we're in the middle of a brawl. Problem being, there's no response to this tank, so you have to use like a copter and injured tanks, maybe. Okay, copter swings by, so that's gonna be a dead tank. So new sacrificing a tank pretty much to delay this capture. We'll see if it ends up working out or not. And there down goes that tank, so a bit of a tank trade there. All the injured copters. You hate to see it. And he's now at 0 charge. Poland has a side slip. Can he stop the capture? I don't see it. I don't think he can stop this. So Poland's gonna be ahead a bit more. He's gonna. Oh, okay. Never mind. Dang. Oof. Those timers, man, those timers are not looking very good. Poland at like increment. New is also an increment and like barely was able to make his turn. It's hard. It's hard. The live gaming, it's not easy. It doesn't even have any response to these. Has to like loop around. These are all dead. Like these are all left to hang. Man, why did he do that? Why did he like? That's crazy. I guess he was thinking, oh, I'll put this tank over here, but then I also need a tank over here, so then I can't tank chain it, and then he can go like copter, something. Oof. That's gonna be a lot of unit count lost by Poland right there. But to be fair, they are playing on increment. They're both literally an increment, like 2 minutes, 0, 2 minutes, 0. Man, it's hard. they're just like trying to get the best trades. They got boom, boom, just send attack, attack. China, we're at day 26, so we're definitely going to day limit, guys. Whoever has the most properties is gonna win. Army at this point is mattering less and less as the days go by, and so far the winning would be Poland. This capture has been stopped. This capture is also stopped. So yeah, Poland is still on the winning end, but New has more initiative, I think, because he has these two captures going on. That's gonna be one dead copter. Let's see if he can like block this to guarantee, because if he flips this one property, then New would win. He's actually gonna go for this one, and man, that is, every time this happens, it's never the properties that they've been fighting for so long. It's always like one other random property, like surprise property that gets captured, that makes a difference in the games. So we'll see if this actually, I mean, yeah, for sure, right? There's no way Poland can stop this. Does he have sidestep? No. Dang, so he's gonna flip this. So New is gonna be on the winning end next turn. Copter getting sniped, another copter going down. So many injured units. So he is gonna stop this at 1 HP and 2 capture points left on that city. But New is gonna get, I think, okay, no, he's gonna stop it, but he can't stop this. But he can go for another flip to counteract this flip. It's funny because they are just one property off, so whoever gets a flip kind of flips the board. Obviously, New is going to stop this capture, right? Just send everything, anything and everything. Just like take out this guy and then do like tank infantry to kill this guy. Because there goes that flip. Now New is 22 to 21. They both have one com tower each, so yeah, New is ahead of one property. See, he's gonna join there, block. Okay, yeah, and takes it out. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And went for a bunch of other infantry from Poland. Also, even this one. So that means that there's no other infantry from Poland to capture this. And it's gonna be day 28 for Poland. So that's gonna be 3 days left. He does not have infantry in range of properties from New in time. Not in this area, right? Not in this area. Like, what are the closest infantry? Are these and this. They're not in time. He is not going to get a capture flip in time. I believe this is the end of the road for Poland. And if he knows it, he'll probably tap out. He would have to get this property with this guy exactly on day limit without it getting injured, but it is as easy as New sending any unit to it, and yeah, Poland resigns. GG. Damn. That's live league for you. Wow. That was one brawly mess. So this game was submitted by Anonymous1234. I wonder who that is. And just said end game, capturing cities for day limit. I mean, I think perhaps what could have changed was Poland approach at the very end, because it's all about these setups at the very end, no? So New, you got this right here, and he tries to take it out. He even goes for this infantry as well, already seeing the day limit. Perhaps Poland could have focused in other places instead of the middle, which is so close to the airport and 2 bases. It's very easy to just keep sending everything there to stop. So the problem was he had to, I think perhaps Poland could have focused on just stopping this and then focusing on getting one other property. I don't know, maybe one of these. They're kind of far. Maybe that's why he was trying to focus on this one. because he even loses that, and that is oof. If Poland could have been able to hold that city, I think maybe kind of comes down to over here. There was this little thing in this area where New had gotten into a fight and it weakened the vehicle power from Poland for a while. And then he has this presence and it forces Poland to kind of swing around, but also exposed all his infantry. I think this might have been a mistake from Poland. I think maybe he should have just hang back here. Because losing these infantry right here, let's see. Okay, he gets one lost. And then he even goes for some attacks, which is kind of wild. Without any vehicle coverage. So I think if these guys would have just pulled back, saved them, then he could have had more chances of saving the city later on. Because yes, he attacks this guy, which slows down the capturing, but it is this guy at the HQ with the power that he starts capturing. And then there's nothing to interrupt it. So perhaps if these guys just hang back, maybe this tank could have been on the city or like somewhere here and then make an anti-air. These copters were also so far away. Pretty tricky. This position over here was pretty strong. I mean, it's what I said in the early game. Like this pivot right here is very strong. I think it should be pretty rare for Baloo to control this pivot, but he actually did happen to control it because maybe Poland can swing a copter over here, like, you know, this one, swing it over here to be in range of the city so he can put the tank there. But then these copters are in range to attack that copter, so it's like, really awkward. Honestly, I think New just did a really good job at just being very patient. So, yeah, I don't know what you want me to say about that. Endgame capturing cities for a day limit. I mean, well done. It was interesting to see the early tank skip. I wanted to kind of see how that affected. So he could have made a tank over here, but he doesn't. So what does he do with that? I guess he wants it because he's sending these guys forward. I think he wants an extra infantry for these captures in the back. Oh, no, he doesn't even go for that. He just goes forward. Okay. But if he had made a tank, I think he could have made a tank here. Although you really want another infantry on the space, honestly. I think if he does a tank here, then he can go for the capture with this infantry. Right? He starts capping, the tank moves out over here. Obviously, this tank would have been made on this space instead. And then it would like kind of move over here. But then it's like, Poland, do you interrupt here from a road, from a plains? It's kind of an awkward spot. He was still able to defend from the tanks from Poland. Like there was no free damage. And he had a couple extra infantry to fight off in this area. Dang, I don't know. I don't really know what to say about this match. I'm curious though as to why he didn't go for this double copter snipe here. Like copter attacks, no, this copter attacks this guy and this attacks over here. Instead he goes for the tank. I guess to go for the city. He was really prioritizing that. But how would this look like if you use a super here? You go here, you drop this down to like, I don't know, 1. This guy comes over here. Okay, you leave it at 2. So then this copter is free to go, right? And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, you gotta take from the road. What if you do this? You take this guy out, you use this guy, attack from the road. And then you get a 4, 6. Depends on chip damage, but this could be. And then like, I don't know, you take this guy from the mountain. I don't know, there's a bunch of other options to do here, but this could be. Sure, this copter comes here and attacks this guy. But I think Neo would be ahead on the copter count. Then this copter could clear it here for free. How much charge did he have? Oh, he was close to another side zip. So he could have done like 2, 4, 6, 7 attack from over here. Probably not a good idea because then he can't cover with another copter. So he has to attack from over here. And then he wouldn't be in range of covering the city, I think. Dang. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, crazy live game right there. It was interesting, definitely, to see how these swung from one side to another. But I feel like this could have been pretty neat. Not gonna lie. 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, doesn't reach because he. What does he do here? Okay, just chill, and then goes for this. But you see how Poland has 2 copters now because of this, against 1 and a fresh one, instead of like, say this is another copter, right? Instead of like, oh, copter attacks here, another copter. Like this would put New ahead on the copter count. And I think that matters a lot because during this whole process, Poland was ahead on the copter count. Oh well. Anyways, I think that's going to be it for today, guys. I'm kind of hungry. It's been a 3-hour stream. Man, getting tired by the 3rd hour, and an APC is way more than that. Anyways, yeah, I think I'm going to call it, guys. So I hope you guys have a good one. If you have any quick questions that you want to shoot at me, go ahead. I'm going to move on to the ending soon thing or whatever it is. Yeah. Let's see, what can I mention? Remember to sign up to APC2, those who want to. You have until the other Sunday. And it's going to be moving quick. Signups will close, then in like a week, the players will be determined. The brackets will be determined. The map pool will be revealed, so players can have like 2 weeks to prep for the first round. Maybe 1 or 2 weeks. Gotta get them all into the server. Got a lot of things to do. So yeah, it's gonna boom, boom, boom. Things are gonna move quick. So yeah, thanks guys for hanging out. Hope you guys have a good one. Yeah, see you later.